All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning. After the intro before, we're going to now take you to the world of Taurus, digital asset custody, tokenization, and so on. I'm Jürgen. I'm Global Head of Strategic Partnerships, and I'm here today with my colleague, Mounir.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mounir. I'm a product manager here at Taurus, and I actually worked on the Stellar integration in the Taurus platform.
Brilliant, thank you. So in the next, I think, 30 minutes that we have, we split the session in two. I'm going to start and tell you a little bit about who Taurus is, what we're doing, what we have been up to since inception. And then Mounir will guide you through the work we did together with Stellar, a close partner of ours, into integrations and the good things we can do with that. So without further ado, let me jump straight into as to who we are and what we do. So Taurus was founded in 2018. We're first and foremost, we're a technology company. We're about 90 people now. 70% of the people working at Taurus are engineers. Headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, which has been also a good country for us. There's a lot of things happening. But obviously with the expansion over the last year and a half, we opened about 8 offices outside Switzerland as well, pretty much following the clients that we serve. We raised Series B. Some of you might be either before it or in the works of it. Series B was really there for the funding that helped us grow and helped us grow outside of Switzerland. But with a strong base that we have. People at Taurus, we have quite a variety of backgrounds. Probably if you created your company or in the stage of people you work with, like all of you, coming anywhere from the financial services sector to the tech sector, and so on and so forth. Very much what I go later into it, we're working with banks, so a little bit of the DNA that we have comes from the banking side. Maybe differentiated to others as well. We're not just a tech company, we're also regulated. And I will come on my next slide actually what it means and why we're doing that. So think about our platform as quite modular, right? We don't think about, when talking about digital asset, we don't just think about cryptos, think about the wider term. Very much also what we do with Stellar, going into the tokenized asset space. Think about digital currencies, anything in around CBDCs, stable coins, and so on. Obviously, we'll allow you also cryptocurrencies because that's just the nature of it and what we do, and also into the NFT space. When we engage with clients, when we engage with partners, we just always want to highlight that we are very much, we can manage the full spectrum. So it doesn't really matter if you think about the technology, if you think about the wallet infrastructure as to what you do. We're here to support end-to-end from crypto to any other RWAs and so on. Here's the offering. As you can see, a couple of points here. And I'm starting from the left, and I move over a little bit onto the right. The main business that we do is, as I mentioned before, is infrastructure. So infrastructure, what does it mean? Well, we provide the tech to our clients to be able to build a custody platform and to connect with the blockchains. But we also have a tokenization platform. So why is it important? Well, because some of the clients we work with, they don't have the capacity, they don't have the know-how in-house to actually do it themselves. So that's why they would come to us and would say, okay, Taurus, how can you support us? What you can see here from left to right, Taurus product is very much, when we talk about that, Mounir, I think we'll touch on it as well as he goes through the demo. We talk about Taurus product, that's the custody platform. Anything hot, warm, cold, you name it. You guys are probably very much into the space as well, so I'm not going to go too much into details. But gives you an easy way to kind of like get into. What also comes with it is approval processes, right? And might sound a little bit boring, but if you think about regulated institutions, banks, or large clients, that work with us, they have business approvals that they kind of like need to include into any digital asset offerings. So by that, that's what we offer, and that's why we're in there as well. So what's the business of chain approvals before actually anything will be broadcasted or put onto the blockchain? Putting on a blockchain brings me to Taurus Explorer. We do run our own nodes. We run nodes for the clients as well. That's purely SaaS-based. And here actually to connect clients with the actual blockchains to do so. So again, everything is run in-house. We have our own tech stack. We actually built our tech stack end-to-end, which is an important part and I think important to highlight as well. As I said, 70% of the people we have are engineers, all being based in Switzerland, that help us to have a coherent product roadmap as well. So that brings me to tokenization. The platform that we have, and we'll go into that as part of the demo as well, so you get a feeling as to how that looks like actually. But the tokenization platform is very much there as well to make it simple for clients that want to build projects on Stellar, for instance, to have everything in one platform, right? So that means if you have different functionalities, whether you issue it, whether you have something around the lifecycle management on any of the assets, whether it's coupon payments for bonds or whether it's like payouts or dividend payments when it comes to equities, that everything can be done via the platform now. It can be done via smart contract functionalities. It can be done via business approvals or business approvals that are being done off-chain as well. But the platform very much gives you the flexibility to do so. Now, with the security that anything you do and everything that can be done, you have different users that then go into and can do the approval. Last but not least, and in one of the slides I mentioned we're regulated as well, which differentiates ourselves, and you would think, okay, why is a tech firm, why do they need to be regulated? Well, technically, we don't, because we rely on our clients to be regulated. However, think about it, that we're probably in a phase now where we really, really want to help clients and help the industry to scale, right? It's not so much anymore to do POCs, put something on a blockchain in a closed environment. We really want to open up. And to open up, you need marketplaces for primary issuance, but also for secondary market trading. That's why we have TDX. Now, we're regulated by FINMA, which is the financial authority in Switzerland. But it allows us to actually create a venue for those clients that do tokenize to actually list shares as well. A couple of examples that I'm going to talk you through. So it's a little bit more close as to what that actually means. But that's the full breadth of what we're doing. As I said, first and foremost, it's the financial infrastructure, what you can see behind me. And then we have the financial services. That's the marketplace that we have. So who do we work with? So I mentioned that clients that we serve need to be regulated, which is gets a little bit complex as well in dealing, because there's a lot of rules that you need to apply to. But here's some of the examples. So anything from, as you can see, the theme here is definitely working with financial institutions, but anything from global banks like a Deutsche Bank or Santander, different use cases, to global custodians like State Street, or custodians like Cassis across Europe. There's really, really no limit. As I said, the tech is global, so that doesn't really, put any hurdles in place who we can work with. What we also need to look out for is obviously the clients that have the regulatory approvals to be able to do the offering. When it comes to different use cases, it really depends. Yeah, it depends on the country. It depends on the jurisdictions that you're in, and it depends on the clients as well, whether they are in private wealth management, whether they're a corporate bank, whether they're a global custodian to asset managers and so on. So the use cases will definitely change. We're working with about 30 plus clients. So the benefit that we have is actually that from the outset, when Taurus was created, we were able to build the platform together with banks. If you think about the EMEA Bank, if you think about Vontobel Bank and so on. Some of those banks are also early investors in Taurus. So that helped us really to shape the product according to that. Now, you would think, okay, that's quite a narrow client base or a narrow product that you have. That's true, but it also keeps us focused. And as we want to ensure that there's more institutional adoption, you know, you might have seen BlackRock, you might have seen Franklin Templeton issuing money market funds and so on and so forth. That's really what we're here for and what we want to support. The others as well, UNHCR and so on, and we're also working with a couple of brands that will come to in the next slides. But really, first and foremost, it's working with financial institutions. Good. So talked about clients, talked about a little bit what Taurus does. One more slide here, which actually talks about the use cases. Again, I said at the outset that what Taurus does is very much agnostic. We think about it as digital assets. We have the different products, which spans from custody to tokenization, and then actually to the issuance side as well. As you can see here, quite a variety as to what we have done already, pretty much driven actually by clients as well. First and foremost, you have what I call plain vanilla custody, trading, and staking actually is part of it as well for cryptocurrencies. One of our power users that we have is Swissquote that allows clients like retail and others as well to trade cryptocurrencies. Very much, you know, Switzerland driven also with EMEA Bank, they may or may not know. And then what we saw as well over the past years is the drive into tokenization. I mean, there's no doubt that was another wave of everybody talking about RWA tokenization and so on and so forth. That's what we have seen as well with our clients. Now that can span from structured products over to funds, equity and debt that I mentioned outside. Just give you one example, which maybe is not a banking client, maybe might be a little bit more, if I look up there, which might be a little bit more familiar, which you can touch on is Coca Brew. Now, you might not know the name. What they're basically doing is Swiss-based, a brewery company, microbrewery company, that came to us and said, okay, we want to raise equity. We have a large community, about 500,000 people. How can we keep them engaged? And how can we keep them involved in projects as well? So what we did, it's actually via TDX, is we listed, we issued equity for them. They raised about 1.2 million Swiss francs in about 20 minutes. Now, granted, it's through the community. And that will help them as well to have certain goodies and so on and so forth. So that's just one of the, I think, pretty cool examples as to what can be done and where we want to support our clients. Not going to go into the other things. If you're interested, just grab us afterwards as well. Good. So I've talked a lot. Mounir, I think over to you.
Thanks. Great. So, as Jürgen explained, we have Taurus Protect and we have Taurus Capital, so our custody solution and our tokenization engine. And really what we did is when we integrated the Stellar blockchain, we really want to make it so that our clients can really leverage the Stellar blockchain to its fullest. So we took Taurus Protect, and that means that you can custody any type of Stellar assets, or of course XLM, so lumens. And then on the other side, in Taurus Capital, what we did mainly is you can actually do any type of Stellar operations and even Stellar DEX operations. So in the next 10 to 15 minutes, what I'll be doing is actually walking you through a few of these workflows to show you how we've actually integrated this. So first, wallet and address creation. This is core to the Taurus platform. So what we do is a client would actually pick Stellar as their blockchain, and then they would put a wallet name. So we picked Stellar here. We're doing a wallet Meridian, so for this demo. And then within a wallet, you will create deposit addresses. And these deposit addresses are where your lumens will actually be held. So you can create one to many deposit addresses in a single wallet. And this is what I'm doing now. So I'm creating address 1. And what you'll be able to see is that I'll navigate back to the wallet. And within this wallet, we've actually created a deposit address. So you can see the funds, so the balance is 0. So obviously it's empty now, and we can actually fund it. This brings me to the second workflow, which is transferring lumens. So now we have an address, and we want to actually send funds to it. So obviously you can receive funds freely, you could send funds, you could do this on our platform. So what you would do is you would actually select, so in this case, I'm actually doing a transfer from an account that already has lumens and sending it to the account we just created. So we're doing it here. I'm sending 40 lumens. So to the wallet that we created. And then the deposit address. And then here we're creating requests. So requests are really core to the Taurus platform because it means that anything that's sensitive in the Taurus platform, moving funds, whitelisting addresses, assets, these all have to go through an approval workflow. And this is what we're doing now. We just approved it. And what you'll see is I'm going to fast forward, and we have a confirmation, a transaction hash. I'm going to go to the Explorer, so the Stellar Explorer, and show you that we've created an account. This is also because we automatically do the base reserve for you. And you'll see that in the address, you'll have 39 XLM with 1 as a base reserve. So this is transferring lumens, and this is the first steps to actually holding Stellar tokens or XLM in your custody. So the next workflow I wanted to show is creating a new asset in our system. So you're able to actually whitelist any asset in our platform. So what you would actually do is either, if there's an existing asset that already exists, for example, like USDC, you can whitelist it, but you're also able to create your own Stellar asset. And this is what I will be showing now. So we go to whitelisted assets in our platform. Just to mention, this is Taurus Protect. So we're creating a whitelisted asset on the Stellar blockchain. We're putting Taurus. We're giving it an asset. We're giving it an issuer first. This is actually a Taurus Protect address. That needs to be the asset issuer. And then we give it 7 decimals. We'll call it Taurus for consistency. And then once again, we're going to sign this. So once again, back to the security of our platform, you'll put in a passphrase, and then actually you will approve. And then once this is done, you will actually have the currency created. And I'm actually going to navigate to show you that on the same address, you can actually have multiple Stellar assets. Of course, there is one prerequisite for this, and this will be the next workflow that I'll show you. So here you can see we have all these XLM assets. And the next, and as I was saying, the prerequisite to actually holding these tokens, these Stellar assets in your addresses is creating a trust line. So you have to open a trust line. We've made this very, very simple for our clients. So what you will do is you'll actually go to the currency and deposit addresses. You will go to create a trust line that will be in the top right of the screen. It will create a request once again. You will sign this request. So what it will give to the blockchain is the asset ID Taurus, and we're opening a trust line for that. And then we're going to sign it. Once again, give it a comment. And I'm going to fast forward, show you basically that it's actually created a trust line. Great. So now the next step, we've created an asset. We've created a trust line for that asset. Now, next thing we're going to do is mint tokens. So this is where we go to Taurus Capital, our tokenization engine, and this is kind of how we separated it. All these Stellar operations and Stellar DEX operations will be done on Taurus Capital. So we actually go to digital assets in Taurus Capital. We have a special section called asset operations for Stellar, especially. That's very different from other tokenization. Here we're selecting the asset issuer that we selected when we created the whitelisted asset in our system. And then here we're actually selecting who we want to mint to. So we're selecting another wallet in Taurus Protect and an address. So here I'm selecting address 1. As you remember, that's the one we created. And then we're going to give it, so 1 tau, so the token we created, because we give it 7 decimals. And then here, we're actually going to create a request once again. We're going to sign it. So as you see the request, you see all the metadata of the request every single time to make sure that the operation that you're doing is the one that your organization wants to do. And then you will see, I'm going to fast forward, show you the transaction hash, and we've actually paid 1 Taurus to the address, and you'll see that it will appear on the Blockchain Explorer. So it's really as simple as that. And this is for minting tokens. And we can go, we can navigate, we can see we have 1 tau. Great. So there are other sorts of operations that you can do. For example, setting options. So this is obviously every address has options they can set, so flags. And Well, you can do this, of course, on the platform as well. Same place in digital assets. You would go, you would actually select your address, the flag you want. So here it's auth immutable flag. So beforehand, it was set to false. We want to set it to true. So here we're going to actually set it to true by signing once again. And then I'm going to fast forward and show you on the Explorer how it looks. We have the transaction hash once again. We will actually navigate to it. And we'll see that we've set the option auth immutable flag to true. And I'm even going to go to the flags for that address and show you that it's been set to true. So these were a few examples of the Stellar options that you can put. Now, the final thing I wanted to demonstrate was actually the Stellar DEX. So you could actually also create operations on the Stellar DEX through our platform as well in Taurus Capital. And the demonstration that I'll do is the buy offer. So very simply, you would go to Taurus Capital once again, corporate actions. You would select first the currency that you're willing to spend. So here we're going to actually buy it with lumens, so buying USDC with lumens. We're going to put an amount. So here I'm going to put 1 XLM. And I'm going to find the buying asset ID, so it's USDC. And then we're going to take the asset issuer as well. So the issuer of the USDC. We're going to get a price. So I'm taking a price here from the Stellar DEX Explorer, putting it in. And then I will create a request once again, navigate back to Taurus Protect, approve the request. So as you can see, a buy offer is here. And of course, you can do any type of Stellar DEX operations on our platform. These are just example workflows. And finally, I'm going to fast forward and show you when it's confirmed, how it looks. We'll go to the transaction hash, and we see that we've actually put an offer on the Stellar DEX. So these were all the workflows I wanted to show you. If you have any questions, please come speak to me after. And yeah, thank you. That's all from me.
Perfect. Thanks, Mounir.